It's M.Night Shyamalan's The Happening, and yeah, this movie was so bad that even Mark Wahlberg, he regretted it, and that guy would literally star in anything. Film begin, and we're in Central Park where two women are reading books. But wait a minute, someone just screamed out in the distance, which I guess is pretty casual for New York. I mean, I've never been there, but I've heard it's quite screamy. And oh my god, now everyone is acting really weird because they're just standing there not doing anything. Like a few seconds ago they were walking and now they're not. And that's really, really strange. So other females like, hell nah, I'm out, and then stabs herself in the neck. Let's head downtown where those construction guys, they're just standing around and having a few laughs and all that. So not really doing any work, which probably explains a lot. But oh no! There must be some kind of emo concert going up on top of that building because some guy just like KO'd himself off it. And they're like, oh my god, we need to call, whoa. Another guy just fell off. And another. It's like, oh my god, that must be the world's worst emo concert. Scene transmission, and here's Mark Wahlberg, who's a science teacher teaching science. And he says, the bees, they're all disappearing, which is really strange. So kids, tell me why that's happening. And that's a good question. So was it global warming? What about pollution? How about the coronavirus? But boy person, who's blatantly an adult, says, look, we'll never truly know why the bees are going missing because science, it builds on theories and assumptions that one day may be disproven. Which is totally like incorrect because the science is settled and the UN owns it. Well, that was great, and here's the vice principal female teacher lady, and she just ran in saying, Mark Wahlberg, quick, come with me, which he does, where a bunch of other teachers have also gathered. And man person says there's been some kind of terrorist attack on the east coast of America, because like, a bunch of people keep dying. Let's go to female lady who's getting a call from Joey. But who the duck is Joey? No one knows. And to be honest, no one really cares. So she chucks it on the table, and look who just rolled up out of the door. It's Mark Wahlberg. And he says, what the hell is going on out there? So she turns the TV on, where science person man says, normally, people don't do the self-deletion on a regular basis. Unless it's at an emo concert. But like, there's some kind of neurotoxin going around that makes people want to do the Jeffrey Epstein. And Mark Wahlberg, he's blown away by that and says, oh my god, we need to get the hell out of here. They head to the train station where the TV is on, and Uki says, all those guys who died, well, we actually did an autopsy on them already. I mean, like, it only happened like an hour ago, but we managed to complete it, and our findings is that there's a neurotoxin, which is entirely natural, so it's not terrorists. It's like, I guess that's a relief. So it's train time. But while that's happening, what's going on in West Philadelphia? Well, funny you should ask that, because Will Smith is being born and raised on the playground. It's where he spent most of his days. Oh, and a bunch of people self-deleting with guns. Really interesting. Back to the train where a female person is speaking to Joey on the telephone. And it turns out he's a friend from work. And she was doing a sneaky behind Mark Wahlberg's back because obviously she's a dirty skank. It's later, and for some reason, the train has stopped on the tracks. So Mark asks Train Man, like, why have we stopped in the middle of absolutely nowhere? You utter dingus! And Train Man says, it's because we've lost contact with everyone. Which means something bad has happened up the old train lines. They all go to a diner to get some grub. And here's random extra who's like, hey, Mark Wahlberg! You utterly sucked in the remake of the Planet of the Apes. But you're quite cool, so anyway, come check this out. So she pulls out her phone where some emo guy is doing a harambe in a lion cage because he wants to die. And those lions, they don't take too kindly to peasants and then start eating his arms off. But tis but a scratch. What's on the TV? It's Newsman, and he's saying, look guys, this is not terrorists, it's something else. Yeah, we already know because the other guy said it was natural. And now Mark's just realised, if we stay here, we're all gonna die. Even though they're basing that on absolutely nothing at all. So it's mass panic time where everyone's running away. But there's a massive bloody issue because the train isn't moving. And that leaves Mark Wahlberg and Skank Lady pretty bloody screwed. So that nice guy over there, he says, look, if you want, I can give you a lift. which was quite nice. Scene transmission, and they've just rolled up at Nice Guy's yard because he needs to get some supplies from the house. So while that's happening, Mark Wahlberg goes check out his awesome little garden thingy, which is pretty cool. And hey, Nice Guy is back already, and he says, "I hope you lot like hot dogs because I'm packing them," which was actually kind of creepy. Oh, and also, he knows what caused the terrorist attack. It was the plants, bro. They do things like talk to each other and like spread out pheromones. And now they're really angry at humans and they're trying to kill all of us. Which is actually an amazingly accurate assumption based on no peer-reviewed scientific papers at all. So they get rolling again, and that's pretty cool because it's a nice day out. But stop right there! There's dead animals up that road ahead! Wait, no it's not. It's the results of a My Chemical Romance gig. So Mark, he's like, hell nah, I actually like my life, we should go in the other direction. Which they do, and look out, here's an army truck out of nowhere, where a private man tells them there's something very weird going on, because all my soldier mates, they were like in a group and they were jokingly saying that they had information that would lead to the arrest and conviction of Hillary Clinton. And now they're all dead, just like the rest of the guys from the Clinton Foundation. But what's going on now? Even more cars are turning up. It's like, what are the chances of that in the middle of bloody nowhere? It's later, and good guy is having a good old plot info dump and tells female person it's obviously the plants doing it because they can do things like send out pheromones that communicate to other plants. And that means they're all doing a communication to kill all the humans. And like, thanks M.Night Shyamalan, you already established that like a few scenes ago. What's Mark Wahlberg up to? He's talking to Private Man, and they just worked out those emo concert deaths, they started in big cities, and it's now working its way to smaller and smaller communities. So that means they're next. And oh my god, if only they'd been given 2 weeks to flatten the curve, this could have been all avoided. And Mark, he knows his science because he's a science teacher, remember? And says, we need to get off the roads, which is like mind-blowing science. How did he know that? And seriously, how did he know any of this? Because the science teacher I had back in high school laughed at me when I asked if the moon was getting further away from the earth, which made everyone in the class laugh at me, even though I was right. And this guy just figures out the major plot points in 5 minutes. It's hiking time, where a female lady is finally admitting to Mark Wahlberg that she had dessert with a man called Joey. And he's like, what? You lied to me? Oh my god, no one cares. So what are the trees doing? They're all breezing around. But holy shit, that was no normal breeze, it was a jihadi breeze. So all those guys up front, they got infected with tree AIDS and then start self-deleting themselves. And everyone is proper scared, like saying, oh, Mark Wahlberg, what are we going to do? And he's like, give me a second, guys, I need to use my Wahlberg mind. Oh, I've got it. It was the plants all along, and we're setting them off. And obviously, if there are too many people in a group, then the plants will kill us. We need to split up into smaller and smaller groups, and then also socially distance. They get running and splitting into smaller groups, because again, they worked out the tree's motive somehow. And the wind has caught up with them, and they're gonna die. Like really, oh wait, nope, sorry. They were actually right the entire time, and the trees don't like crowds larger than 5 people. Oh, amazing. So they go running into a house in the distance, which looks pretty nice, nice house in the countryside. But oh my god, that tree in that room right there, it's moving and shaking. So Mark goes up to it saying, look, my name's Mark, I come in peace. Well, I'm kind of really sorry for smoking all your marijuana, friends. Oh, and then he realizes that the tree was plastic this entire time, and haha, that was so funny, I now have AIDS. But there's something even weirder going on, because everything in that house is actually fake, like the TV and the orange juice. So they get running outside, and it actually turns out the house was a model home. And does that have any bearing on the plot? Oh my god, no! This film's gonna be intelligent first. What are they up to now? They're staring at the trees, and now Mark Wahlberg is telling female person, you may have gone on a date with Joey, you lying bitch, but I went to the pharmacy once and I saw a really hot lady, so I hung around for a while. And female person, she's utterly devastated by that for some kind of reason. Because she can do what she wants, but he can't. Anyway, to another house they go, where this time someone's inside. And Mark says, hi, I'm Mark Wahlberg, you may remember me from Planet of the Apes remake. Can I have some food, please? And Houseman says, no. But that kid over there, he ain't having any of it, so starts trying to break into the house and then gets killed to death with a shooting stick. And I'm in absolute tears because I really, really cared about those kids. Oh, rest in peace, unnamed kid who I only knew for like 5 minutes in the film. So they get running again when they're all fake crying, they're really upset. It's a big sad, no one cares. So let's head to some old ladies who are watching the news, and Science Man is saying, it's gonna get worse, and the worst will be tomorrow morning, which is some kind of foreshadowing, which I'm sure will result in a very exciting climax. Back to Mark Wahlberg, and they've just found another house. Who could have guessed that one? This feels pretty much just them running from one house to another house, leaving that house to go to another house. So he goes up and there's an old lady who's like, "Sup, you lost boy? There ain't nothing much round here for miles. Anyway, you want some supper?" And that was really easy, and now they're eating, where a female person tells her, "This is a really lovely place you've got here." And old lady says, "Thanks. And also, out back there's a bunker place, right? Where in the past, they used to hide escaped slaves. Which is illegal. And it has like a speaking tube in it that if you speak into, the person in the house can hear you very clearly." It's like, oh, right. So basically, they're just telling us how the end's going to end up because they're all going to be, oh my God, I just don't care enough. Anyway, small child is reaching for a cookie. So I better bitch slap that kid's hand and say, "You don't touch what is not yours." Even though it's on a table. Like the food's on the table for everyone to eat. So, oh my God. And no one in the room like knocks out that bitch Gramps for striking a child. Amazing. Next daytime, and he's coming down the stairs hearing giggling and all that. But where is the noise coming from? Maybe that room over there. So he goes in, and what the absolute shits? Like, there's a creepy ass doll on the bed. And that's very weird. Oh, and also a jump scare because old lady just turns up behind him saying, "Get out of my house. Leave." Well, that doesn't really require much convincing because that old bitch is mental. And now they're outside somehow. But oh my God, the trees are a-breezing. So Mark gets his ass back in the house and he's like, "Hey, other guys, we need to get the hell out of here." But stop, Mark Wahlberg, it's crazy old lady at the window. So she straight up headbangs right into the glass. And now she's dead, I guess? I don't know, we don't see her again in the film. And Mark Wahlberg, he's a smart cookie and gets his ass into a room and then tells up the air gap. And now he's hearing the giggling, like, really loudly. And that's very confusing because he can't see them anyway. Oh wait, sorry. It's because they're in the slave house place and he can hear them through that old tube that the lady mentioned earlier. He shouts through the tube saying, "Oi, close those doors and windows. It's the terrorist plants. They're coming for us." So they get talking and quickly realise that they are utterly ducked because the evil trees no longer care if you're in a big group, small group, cardboard box. And they're all gonna die. So they start talking about other things, like their first date, where Mark brought female person a mood ring, and it changed colour. And oh my God, seriously, no one cares. And female person, she's a bit sad right now and says, "Hey, Mark Wahlberg?" And like through the tube, and he's like, "Yeah." And she says, "I was just making sure that you were there." And he's like, "What?" That you're literally having a flowing conversation right now. Yeah, who the hell wrote this dialogue? Oh, right, yep, sorry, it was him. And Mark is big upset and says, "Look, I ain't going to die alone. I want to be with you." I don't know why, because she's a Joey cheating bitch. So anyway, here I come. I'm going to head outside. I'm going to do it. I'm coming for you. And the trees are like absolutely throbbing everywhere and it's really big and scary. And look, here comes female person with a child, like from the slave place. And oh, this is really like Romeo and Juliet. They're all going to die. Oh, wait, hang on a second. They haven't died because the tree aides just stopped at the precise moment they walked outside. Literally, the trees went from, "Oh, I'm going to kill everyone. I hate the humans," to, "I'm not really interested anymore, mate." And that's it. They survived. Holy shitballs. Like, that is one of the dumbest conclusions I've ever witnessed. 3 months later, and they're all happily living in a house with small kid who isn't theirs, but you know what, just kidnap whoever you want these days. And she's off to school, where like there's surprisingly a lot of people walking around. Even though I'm pretty sure they would have suffered like a humongous population collapse. Oh, and also, female person is pregnant. It's like, oh, big reveal, I really gave a crap about that one. So what's happening in France? Oh my God, it's French people. That's disgusting. and now they're all infected with trias, and that's it, film finished. Well, that was utterly stupid. The whole thing was stupid. I feel stupid, and now I'm gonna go off like hit the old eye bleach heroin like I do after watching every film for this channel.
Subscribe button.
Is always right.